All right, thanks for watching. What we're going to do now is use the NEISS database and look at how can we distribute the ages, how can we analyze them, look for the average age, and put it in a graph or some sort of chart. My previous videos have been using the pogo stick injuries, but it just so happens there's not any pogo stick injuries reported on patients less than 2 years old. If you go to the FMT, those patients that are less than 2 years old are actually valued kind of differently. So as you can see here, looking at the FMT, if you're 2-month-old, your value is 202. But if you're like 7 years old, your value is 7. So obviously, there's no 202 years old person out there. So we have to deal with these numbers a little bit differently. Basically, you have to turn them into like a percentage or like a decimal point. So that's what I'm going to do. You just follow along here at the bottom. I already kind of did some data on this one. This is some data for somebody else. So I'm just going to change this to ages. And this is amputation data. And the way, this is kind of my way of figuring out how to work with this data. I'm taking all the ages, Control C, and I'm just moving it to a separate sheet so I don't mess anything else up. Alright, so here we have our ages. I just like to sort it out from, we'll go largest to smallest because we have to deal with all these 223 numbers and so forth. So the way we will deal with that is I have to take off 200, then I have to divide them by 12. Take off 200 because that they just added it on. So I'll do equal sign. I want to take this cell, minus 200, and hit the equal sign, and it's 23. And so I'm just going to do this for all the other 200 plus year olds. And I don't have a slick way of doing this. If you do, just let me know or post another video or comment. This is my makeshift freestyle way of dealing with these numbers. Alright, so I took off the 200, and then because we have to use these as a decimal point of some sort, because there's 12 months, but yet decimals go in tens, what I'll do here is we'll just hit the equal sign. We'll take this number and we'll divide it by 12 because there's 12 months, and that's how that goes. And then we'll just kind of do that up the rest of the what happened there? Alright. And this will give us all of our patients that are less than 2 years old, like make them 20% of 2 years old. Alright, there we go. So all of our patients have now been given an age that we can work with and make our graphs. So there's one other thing we have to do. This whole column C is now a formula, and I just want the numbers. What will happen if I try to move this around or copy and paste it somewhere else, it will change it. So what I'll do here is Control Shift down, select all these. We have to do some weird stuff here. First, you got to copy it, and then I'm just going to paste it in the same spot. You have to go to Paste Special, click this button, go down to Paste Special, and I just want the value. So just click Values. There we go. Now it's kind of freestanding values there. And what we can do here is I can just take that and just scroll up here, and I'll just paste it over here eventually. There we go. Control V it. There we go. And then so all these over here we can delete. There we go. If you can hear, my neighbors are playing a lot of music. Alright, there's all of our ages. We can then recategorize this from smallest to largest. There we go. And what we'll do now is I want to find out the average age. Easiest way to do that is an equal sign count. I'll plot my denominator. Control Shift down. Hit the enter sign. And my count is there's 7,323 patients. Next I want to hit an equal sign sum. Control Shift down, enter sign, 265,000. So what we'll do here is hit the enter sign or equal sign, take this number, divide it by this number, hit the enter sign. Our average age is 36.2 years old. There's another way to do this. We can do this by go here to Analyze Data button. We can do this by using a Data Analysis button. If you don't have this button over here, top right hand corner, go to File, go down to Options. You can go to Add-ins. This is a free add-in. It's Analysis Tool Pack, and just add this in and click OK. And then it'll pop up over here. But I hit Data Analysis. There's a lot of different things we do, ANOVAs, t-tests, but I want descriptive statistics. Hit OK. The data that I want to use is right here, Control Shift down. That data selected. Group by the column. Output range, basically where I want this to pop out at. I'll put it right there. And then I want summary statistics and confidence intervals. Hit OK. And it does all the stats for me. So it took all these ages. The mean age is 36.2. That's what we got. Median is 39. Mode is 2. It gives you sum, count, confidence interval. So age is 36.2 plus or minus 5.6. However you want to use this. But if you look at this, the mean is 36, median's 37, the mode is 2. That might be a lot of peds. So there's another way we can look at this data. Let's try to put it into let's try to lump all these patients into like less than 1 year old. The way we can do this is first I just want to put down the ages. I'll do this in one of two ways, or I'll do this in two ways, sorry. We'll just go by single ages, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you type that down, it'll just autofill for you. There's a button over on the far right if you want to do the autofill up to 100. So you don't have to click it like this. This is pretty easy. There's something that we have to change here though. This has to be a 1.999 and this has to be a 0.9999. The reason being is the way that this data comes out and the way that we do our frequencies. I'll show you what I mean here. So this is kind of their year. This will be their N. And it's kind of strange. The way we have to do this is I'm going to zoom out here. Select the top box because that's 0.999 and you have to scroll all the way down and you have to put it one more than your furthest number down. So you see the difference? This is kind of important because whenever it tries to put ages into a bin, there's going to be some ages. I mean, there could be potentially like a 101-year-old person. That'll be like greater than 100 down here. So we have that. Let's create our formula. It's equal sign frequency. Okay. It wants the data array. We want to use all this data here. So click that. Control Shift down. All that's included in there. That's a lot of patients with amputations. Hit the comma sign. The bins will be right here. So we can click that top one, do Control Shift down, and we see that there is one difference down here at the bottom. Okay, scroll up to the top, close it with the parentheses, hit the equal sign, and there we go. So what this does is, this here is actually the less than 1 year old. These are your 1 year olds, and these are your 2 year olds. And that's how that kind of pans out. So, so let's look and see how that actually looks on a chart. Just Control Shift down, copy it. We'll put it over here. I'm having some technical difficulties. Paste special, just as the values. There we go. And then this will be 0, 1, 0, 1, and then just 2 through 100 here. Alright, technical difficulties, figured it out. Alright, so this would be years as in ages. That'll be N. Now let's see what it looks like as a chart. So recommended charts. Let's see, and there we go. You kind of see there's a large peak right there. You can play around with the charts here and see what works out best for you. Some of this comes out a little weird. Here, if you do Control Shift down, it'll make it look different. There we go. Here's a good chart. So this is what it looks like on a bar chart. You see there's some that are less than 0. It like peaks right here and then it kind of goes down. So that's one way to look at this. It's very good visually. I think it's good for a paper. Let's look at this one other way. Delete that chart. Alright, so that's one way. I'll just delete all this here, all that hard work. And now let's group it into 5-year-old, like groups of 5, like 0 to 5 and so forth. I have a chart right here that I've been working on. I'll just post it right here. Okay. Alright, again, as you see, this kind of moved it into a month. If that happens to you, select the column, go to home, and then right here where it says general, just change this to text. Okay. So this would be 6 to 10 year olds, and then the next one would be 11 to 15 year olds. Okay. And now what you're going to do is change the bins. So it'll be like 0. This will be 5. Be 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. And I'll stop right there. And let's do this again. So be equal, frequency, double click that, your data array, click the top of that, Control Shift down, that's the data that we're using. Scroll all the way back up to the top. Sorry, I did something wrong here. Sorry, you have to click this and drag it all the way down just one more. Sorry. Starting over equal, frequency, double click that, Control Shift down for the data array, scroll back up to the top, comma, what's your bins? Your bins are right here, so it's just one less than the frequency selection. Close it, then hit Control Shift and Enter, and then it'll fill in all these boxes for you. So this is another way to look at it. So 0 to 5, 13, 0 to 6, And because this is the last bin, all those that are greater than 90 will go down here. So there's 13 people greater than 90 that had an amputation. We can take this, turn this into a chart. Let's insert recommended charts. Here, this one looks good. This is a good looking chart. Here you go. So this is another chart. Maybe it looks a little bit cleaner than the every single age, but that's it. So this is, sorry for some of the hiccups working with the Excel. There are a few things like, how do you put these into bins and grouping them? How do you fix the age being less than 2 years old? But hopefully this will show you how to do it on your own. Not too bad. All right, thank you.